And this is where I normally get into trouble. The culture of shame. It's time that we must bring back shame. Back in the days, there were certain things that were scandalous. Yabona mase bakubiza bhakabhaka, wazi ukuthi you flop. Base bakubiza ngebhakabhaka. Awe, sanibonani emakhaya. This is Live with Ike Khumalo. I'm Ike Khumalo, your host for today. And in this podcast, we're going to be touching lots of topics like politics, economics, and one of the issues, which perturbed me. And as we all know, with South Africa, we've got a Freedom Day, and Freedom Day is on the 27th of April. And coming back from a Freedom Day, and I couldn't help but think back a move. Last Puma Corner, since 1994, things that we used to do during apartheid. We got 31 years later, what is it that, we've achieved as abantu abamnyama, because we all know we are fighting to be free from apartheid. And the question that we have to ask ourselves, are we really free? Are we free? Or is it a few politicians who are free? Because if you were to go back, and this is where I normally get into trouble, because I always, make comparative analysis between apartheid and the ANC democracy. Note, I always say ANC democracy. I'm not saying democracy, at large. ANC democracy compared to apartheid, pound for pound. And I believe, personally, apartheid did better than the ANC democracy, because if we were to look into different and various aspects of our lives, be it education, darkies were prosperous, as compared to now. Yes, one may say Abelung or white people were ahead of us, but lots of things that we don't have today, we used to have them. I mean, you go to socially, we have to compare white people had and what we had. The standard might not have been the same, but if you're talking hospitals, we had Abu Bara, Abu General, and the best of the best were trained there. Medical institutions such as Abu Medunsa, we used to have those things. We go to business, we produce. We had abantu beba own ama butchery, abantu beba own ama dry clean, abantu beba own ama supermarkets. People who were owning soccer clubs, coal, warehouses. We had those things as compared to now. Now we don't have it all. We're not even talking Ishrotate. You don't have it. Infrastructure, it was there during apartheid. Today, it can rain for 40 nights and 40 days. 10 days later, you'll be told that you must use the water sparingly. And you ask yourself, with months, because, during apartheid, we had a drainage system, freeways, tunnel, and then that water would be spared, and, we'll reuse that water. And people used to come, but in a drainage system, there was no flooding. Today, you go to a city like Johannesburg, which is supposed to be the number one in the world. Look at Johannesburg. It looks like, a city somewhere, Lapayago Mogadishu in Somalia. So, which is, it's very sad. So, you look at in the arts, we produce artists at international level. You're talking about King Kong. I mean, you can imagine, the people who were produced, during the era of King Kong. You've got Abo Letambulu, Bo Miriam Makeba, Bo Kefas Siminya, Bo Jonas Kwangwa at international level. And I'm not talking about people who are singing Goma hotels, because I often hear artists now, but London, and when they get there, they sing into, to a smaller audience, Hema Bioscope, and Abilung Mabadama dinner during breakfast. We are entertaining them there. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about large production, as big as the Lion King. We used to have lots of that. And soccer players, produce Jomo Son, they played Nabo Bailey. Today, who's playing with Messi? Who's playing with Cristiano Ronaldo? We don't have those people. You can only mention one, my exceptions, Penny McCarthy, and who else? Pinar, and from there, it's quiet. So we did better, as compared to this democracy. And one of the reasons is that our youth, they have surrendered, their initiative, to do things for themselves. They've surrendered to government. I understand that we voted the government so that the government can help us. But we all know with the type of government that we have, it's not going to help us. And taking into account that majority of the people in government, Many of them, they were spies, they were traitors. If you remember, Patricia de Lille in Parliament once said, all ANC members or MPs, they were apartheid spies. They even took her to court. So I believe that the majority of the people, they don't care for us. They were just there for themselves. As Smart Ngonyama said, I did not struggle to be, poor. But with us who were active in the 80s, freedom itself was the price. We didn't think which one day there will be Amatenda, and people will be flaunting wealth in front of the poor. We never thought of that. We thought, as we were liberating the country, we're going to benefit collectively. So our youth now, they are also to blame because they're not doing much. An average young person is only concerned about alcohol and soccer, which who's going to win the league. Hey, pagapaga. Yabona masabakubiza pagapaga. Was go to a flop. Masabakubiza pagapaga. But Kosi for life. And if you check, Kaiser's children, they are not called Pagapaga or Kosi for life. And Kaiser played for both teams, Pirates, and initiated a move, a breakaway to Kaiser Chiefs. Masabakubiza Sandawana. Mutsipe's children are not called Sandawana, but South African youth, they are concerned about that. Amachita, Kapoy, Spuzani, and that's all. As compared to the youth before that, youth got 76, these are people who are concerned, about the status quo, with where are we going, as a country, as a people, and that is not there. And one of the things, which is also, disturbing me when I look around, the culture of shame. It's time that we must bring back shame. Back in the days, there were certain things that were scandalous. If you've met at a person and you came out, it could take you rather 2 years. I think 2 years before you could, make friends. The community didn't just accept you as compared to now. People are becoming celebrities. That culture of shame is no longer there. Now we have a slave queen. Prostitution was something that was done somewhere far away. We never heard, but they are prostitutes. We heard about them, but you never seen them. But nowadays, in the social media, the internet, the prostitutes have conquered the internet. And what is said is that the good girls, they think that is the standard. So they are writing the narrative. So I believe that, it's time to bring back shame and you must take actions and believe in ourselves, because what the politicians they've done, they've dealt away, conscious business, but erode, that initiative, the confidence in the South African youth no longer has the confidence. And if we are not careful, the South African youth, if they are not careful, they're going to be governed by foreigners who are coming here. Because if you check the politicians, they are so, I don't know, I cannot even say that they're ignorant. They're aware of what they're doing. They're opening our borders and they're involved in the great replacement. And this great replacement is not only a project that is affecting South Africans. If you check about UK, you've got the people from the East going to UK, Muslims, they're changing their culture, their dynamics. South Africa is no exception. As time goes, you're going to have one day a Nigerian president, and that person doesn't have the conscience that we have. Like we've seen Goma universities, all the executive positions, some senior lecturers, they are now becoming foreigners. People who don't care about affirmative action, people who don't care about equality, who don't care about the struggle, they are there just to make money. And they are excluding our people. Once they are in those positions, they employ their own. So one day, the people who did not struggle with us, they're going to be governing us, because the South African youth, they are not active. And once in a while, when they decide to be active, they march. And I believe that marching is the most useless piece of action that a person can undertake. Because, marching, you hand in a petition, they don't answer you. What are you going to do? Are you going to march again? It takes an effort to march, but I believe in protest. There are so many things that we can do, not, to support the people who are oppressing us. Because if you check these politicians, they behave like celebrities and our people are welcoming them, Emalukshini, where they stay. And if you check, if you were to antagonize the Jewish interest, they will use their monies to isolate you. They will boycott your business. They will sanction you. I believe that as Black people, we need to go beyond marching and singing and doing and stop marching for things that, don't change, our status quo. I was looking recently when the youth, they were marching to Orania, singing, kill the Boer, kill the farm. As Black people, sometimes we like to fight for things that even if the oppressor or the other side or the opponents, they give us those things don't change our lives, don't change the price of bread. So we need to be careful, how we invest our effort, how we engage, for things that are going to change our lives. But marching on its own, as they say, with the powerless people do powerless things, such as marching.